For thousands of years, we've looked up at the sky, searching for meaning among the stars. Every sunrise, every eclipse, every flare of light across the heavens reminds us that we live in the presence of something vast, something ancient. Here on Cosmic Compass, we explore those mysteries, the forces that shape our world, and the stories written across the universe. Today, we turn our gaze toward the source of it, all the star that gives us life, yet still keeps its secrets hidden in plain sight. This is the story of the sun's hidden rhythm and how its unseen cycles reach across space and time to touch every part of life on Earth. In March 1989, the lights went out across Quebec. Power lines hummed, transformers melted, and satellites lost contact, all in a matter of seconds. The cause wasn't war nor human error, it was the sun. If we told you that the sun's hidden rhythm could influence your health, your technology, even the weather around you, you might think we'd drifted from astronomy into astrology. Yet behind every ancient myth, there often lies a grain of scientific truth. Let's imagine for a moment that the sun isn't just our distant source of light, but a living, breathing entity whose moods ripple across the solar system. What if its heartbeat quietly measured the tempo of life on Earth? It's no secret that all life depends on the sun. Plants draw its light, animals feed on that energy, and we in turn depend on them. Without the sun, Earth would be a frozen shadow. But beyond its life-giving warmth, we tend to see the sun as constant and unchanging disk that rises and sets each day. That illusion couldn't be further from the truth. Beneath its calm glow lies chaos. The sun's surface is a sea of plasma boiling, shifting and exploding. Temperatures in its core soar to 15 million degrees Celsius, where atoms fuse and release energy, powerful enough to light our skies for billions of years. Sometimes this energy bursts outward in titanic waves, solar flares that shoot radiation across space, or coronal mass ejections that fling charged particles toward the planets. Dark blemishes called sunspots emerge and fade like bruises on the sun's surface, each one a window into magnetic forces twisting beneath. The sun, far from static, is alive with movement, a restless heart in the center of our solar system. This constant motion follows a mysterious pattern. Every 11 years, the sun transitions from calm to chaos and back again. This is the solar cycle known as the Schwabe cycle. During its quiet phase, or solar minimum, sunspots, a few flares are rare and space weather is calm. But as the cycle climbs towards solar maximum, storms of energy erupt across the sun's face. Flares become 50 times more frequent. Gigantic clouds of plasma hurl into space almost daily. Every 11 years, something extraordinary also happens. The sun's magnetic north and south poles flip. North becomes south and south becomes north. After another 11 years, they swap again, completing a 22-year magnetic cycle known as the Hale cycle. It's as though the sun breathes, expanding and contracting, pulsing with energy. Tick, 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 a cosmic metronome, keeping time for the entire solar system. We don't yet know why this rhythm exists. Some scientists have tried linking it to Jupiter's orbit, which also lasts about 11 years, but the correlation remains uncertain. Whatever the cause, the effects of this stellar heartbeat reach much farther than we might imagine. Let's start with something we can see, or rather something we often feel technology failing at the worst possible time. When the sun enters its active phase, it bombards space with charged particles that can disrupt our fragile systems. Satellites in orbit are the first to suffer. Solar storms can overload circuits, scramble GPS signals, and even knock entire networks offline. During the Great Geomagnetic Storm of 1989, one such pulse of solar energy caused a cascade of electrical currents through Earth's magnetic field. Within 90 seconds, the entire Quebec power grid collapsed. 6 million people sat in darkness. not knowing the storm came from 150 million kilometres away. Astronauts retreat to radiation shelters during solar storms, while engineers on Earth brace power grids for sudden surges. The atmosphere itself swells under the sun's heat, increasing drag on low-orbit satellites. Machines that usually glide effortlessly begin to slow, some even spiral down to burn in the atmosphere. And yet amid the disruption there's beauty. When solar particles collide with Earth's magnetic field, they ignite the aurora's waves of green and purple light dancing across polar skies. During solar maximum auroras become more frequent, painting the heavens almost every other night. The sun's storms may threaten our technology, but they also remind us of the living connection between our world and the star that sustains it. You might assume the sun's influence ends with machines and satellites, but Earth itself responds to the sun's cycles subtly yet undeniably. When solar activity decreases, the protective bubble of our sun's solar wind weakens. More cosmic rays slip through seeding tiny particles in the atmosphere that may help clouds form. Some scientists believe this could lead to slightly cooler, cloudier years during solar minima. In contrast, solar maximums bring a gentle warming. The difference isn't dramatic, perhaps half a degree, but nature notices. Birds sensitive to temperature and daylight adjust their behaviour. In warmer years, they lay eggs earlier. Studies in Europe found that certain species, like the blue tit, time their breeding cycles with surprising precision, matching peaks in solar activity. Even migratory birds and homing pigeons, guided by magnetic fields, subtly change their routes depending on where the sun is in its cycle. It's as if the planet and all life upon it inhales and exhales with the sun, a biological rhythm set to a cosmic beat. Now, what about us? Could this rhythm extend into human life itself? Some evidence suggests it might. Studies have found small but curious patterns between solar activity and human biology. For instance, research in the Netherlands discovered that certain health conditions, particularly in women, showed slight peaks following solar maximums. Men in the same study exhibited minor increases in heart rate, blood pressure, and body temperature. Other studies hint at psychological effects. A large-scale analysis in the United States found that people born during times of high solar activity were marginally more likely to experience mood disorders later in life. The changes are small, barely noticeable on an individual level, but statistically significant across populations. Perhaps it's coincidence, or perhaps deep within our biology, we still resonate with the rhythms of the star that gave us life. It's humbling to think that while we look up at the sun, it may, in some subtle way, be looking back, shaping the conditions of our minds and bodies through invisible tides of magnetism and light. After all, the sun doesn't just warm our skin. It fuels our cells, drives our weather, and sustains our very consciousness. It may have even played a role in the evolution of abstract thought itself. 80,000 years ago, when human intelligence began to bloom, the sun was in the throes of a powerful solar maximum. Coincidence maybe, or maybe that burst of energy helped spark the awareness that lets us ponder the stars today. The sun's cycles remind us that change is constant, even in what seems eternal. Every rise and fall in its energy echoes through the solar system, shaping worlds, climates, and perhaps even minds. We are in every sense children of this star. Its heartbeat is our heartbeat. As we move toward the next solar maximum expected soon, let's remember that this rhythm is not a threat, but a conversation between our planet and its parent star. If we listen closely, we might just hear the pulse of the cosmos itself, steady, ancient, and alive. Every cycle of the sun tells us that even the most constant light in the sky is always changing. The universe moves to patterns both ancient and new, and we are part of that rhythm. If you enjoyed this journey, join us again as we uncover more stories of the cosmos, one discovery at a time. You've been watching Cosmic Compass. Until next time, keep looking up and let the stars guide your curiosity.